Hello, I'm Linda Gregory, and I'm going to do another video today to show you a bit more about transactional analysis and to introduce myself so you can see who I am, and also to introduce my webpage. So it's drlindagregory.com. So it's a web page. Please have a look. It's about transactional analysis training. So on my webpage, for those of you who want to learn transactional analysis, you can start with a TA 101 course and then complete that. And when you complete that, you can then become a member of AATA or ITAA. And then you can go on to the advanced modules. So it's the complete training, and it's good for people in the helping professions, psychologists, psychotherapists, counselors, any kind of mental health workers, childcare, really anyone who wants to improve their people skills and their clinical skills. It's very useful in relationship work, and on my webpage I'll explain a lot more about who it's helpful for. So I've got another video on this YouTube channel about ego states. And this one today I want to talk about strokes, and strokes I think are my favorite TA topic, and strokes are not the kind of heart attack type stroke, but a stroke by definition is a unit of recognition. So whenever we recognize another person or in fact recognize ourselves, we're giving a unit of recognition a stroke. And there's lots of different types and characteristics of strokes. So first of all, they can be positive or negative. They can be for being, which means just getting a stroke for who you are, for just being there and being alive. You don't have to earn it, and it's just for who you are. And the other is a stroke for doing, and that means a stroke for what you do or don't do well. And then they can be verbal, like saying hello, hi, how are you, nice to see you, or physical, a touch on the shoulder, or hug or kiss, of course. And unconditional, which is coming back to being. That means just there's no condition to it. You get this stroke just for being alive and being who you are. Conditional is conditioning on what you do or what you don't do. So let's go through the 4 different types in more detail. So let's start with positive unconditional. Here are the very best kind of strokes to use, and they should be used most of the time and prolifically, lots to people. And that's where you say things like, you're fantastic, you know, the room lights up when you come in, and I just love being in your company, or thanks for your company, and, you know, best of all, of course, is I love you. So that is a stroke that's very boosting of self-esteem, and, you know, people feel good when they get those kind of strokes. I'm sure you've noticed in your life that when you give someone a positive unconditional stroke, they smile, they light up, they feel good. The next is a positive conditional. And these are good to use because they teach people, you know, what's appreciated and how they should do things. So positive conditional are things like, I really like how you've cleaned up your room, you did that really well, I like how you've gotten good grades at school, this report was excellent, I like how you get along with your other co-workers, those types of strokes. And they're very good, as I said, as long as people get positive unconditionals as well. I believe in our society, particularly in my age group society even more so, most strokes that were given were positive conditionals and not so many positive unconditionals. I think that's the way people were raised, and that's what people knew, my parents and grandparents, that's what they knew back then. So it was a lot of positive conditionals of what you do well, you know, I like what you've done, and so forth. And what happens with that if you get mostly those and not many of these, you grow up thinking, I'm only okay when I'm doing. I have to be doing to be recognized. I have to be doing to be seen as a good person. So in the extreme, that's not particularly good. And over here, we have a negative conditional. And these are for doing. And negative conditionals, they're okay to be used in respect, or given respectfully, and in moderation. That's so that people can learn what not to do and how to improve. Things like, I don't like the way you're leaving your room a mess. Let me show you how I'd like it, or let me help you. I don't like the way you are treating your sister or brother. You need to be nice to each other. And at work it might be, that report is really not up to our standard. Let me show you the way it should be done, or the way I'd like it done. So given respectfully, they're good. Unrespectfully, it can be things like, what's wrong with you? You can't do anything right. You're all thumbs. You make a mess of everything. You're just useless. And that can be very damaging, because it's hurtful. So then people grow up thinking, I'm useless, I can't do anything right, something's wrong with me. So that's not very good for self-esteem, of course. And then over here for the negative unconditional, these should never be used. They're very hurtful and damaging, and it's where you're giving us a negative stroke for the person's being by saying, you're bad, something's wrong with you, get out of my sight, you make me sick, get lost, I should never have had you. Those kind of strokes, of course, given repeatedly, can be extremely damaging to a person's self-esteem. Now, I'm a parent and a grandparent, so I know that we all have bad days sometime, and every now and again you might give one of those when you're having a really stressful bad day. And kids can withstand that as long as you apologize and say, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Or at work, the same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lose it. Let me apologize. So people can withstand a small amount of those, as long as they're given plenty of positives, conditional and unconditional. Okay, so just going again, that they can be positive or negative, as we've seen. Given for being or doing, and verbal or physical. And verbals are great, to say I love you, you're fantastic, I love being around you, and physical is just a warm touch. And of course negative physicals are a hit, a kick, a punch, violence. That's not okay. Unconditionals can be okay given respectfully and caringly. Unconditionals are the best. Positive unconditionals are the best, but not the negative unconditionals. And conditionals given respectfully are good. So that's what I'd like to say about strokes. And as I said, they're my favorite topic. And I have a belief that if we all concentrated on going out and giving 5 strokes a day to people we come in contact with, just 5 extra strokes, that we would cure the ills of the world. I think we would stop wars, stop terrorism, stop hateful, treating of each other, stop violence, and the world would be a great place. So I think it'd be worth a try. So let's all go out and give 5 strokes a day, to positive, of course, to people a day. That would be good. So in summary again, I'd like to invite you to visit my webpage, drlindagregory.com. If you're interested in what transactional analysis is about, it's explained pretty fully there, as well as the products I have available for the Learning TA 101 and the advanced modules. So thanks for listening, and hope to see you there. Bye.